We've been trying to get reparations, okay? So we're tired of abolishing the man in the Trump, right? And so it's going to take, because look, listen, Democrats can't do this. They can't do anything.
Right.
Without black people. And holding the vote just may send a message to them like,
sure.
oh, they serious.
Absolutely. Bush versus Gore 2000, if your vote mattered at all on that level, Gore would have been president. Gore won by what? Over 5 million votes? Mm-hmm. And he wasn't president.
Right.
Hillary Clinton recently won the popular vote by 3 million votes.
Right.
So on the national level, your vote, it makes you feel good.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you're getting out there, getting
right.
all patriotic and
right.
stuff.
That's why you have the Electoral College.
Right.
Trump won through the Electoral College.
And cheating. I'm just playing.
Yeah, well, of course, but that's how you do it, because
right.
when the Constitution was originally written, they did not want the common idiot electing
right.
the leader. So they had this secret group of people you don't know about that elect their leaders.
Especially a lot of the people in the last campaign who voted for Trump, they were against Obamacare, but they had the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
It's like, so that's the kind of people we're probably
dealing with. Yeah.
Or people who's like, well, she had hot sauce in her bag. She all right. You probably don't want those type of people at the helm of the of the voting process.
Right. And then you got to think about this. I know it's not a political show. They chose Hillary, had 535 superdelegates before she even had an opponent.
Right.
So they're telling us who your leaders are, and you know what? People said no. So when this Trump thing came about, people are so sick of the establishment that they said, you know what? Yeah, this guy grabs pussies, and he does this, and he does that. But you know what? I'm sick of what's going on at the level, and they threw this guy in there, and this is what you get.
That, and he gave a lot of people who were white supremacists a voice.
Right.
He gave them they are finally
somebody's going to stand up for us.
Yes, our leader has emerged.
Exactly.
You know? And so Cindy says Corver is the white NBA player who the piece you were referring to about the white privilege.
Right.
Okay,
yes. I knew he was the shooter, the guy.
Right. So so more and more people like him are starting to emerge, like saying we do have a responsibility. Like we have benefited from the institution of slavery. I mean, it's just the truth. And so, those white people are saying we can no longer remain silent. It's just unfair. I mean, it's something needs to be done, and if they have a platform, why not use it? So, big ups. And James says, black unity is the kryptonite to this country, period. It has to be attacked.
Yes.
So much so it has to be a line item on the budget of every local, state, and federal government.
Absolutely.
The J. Edgar Hoover says that the number one enemy to the United States is black unity.
Yes.
And that's not a secret. When black people unify, then everybody else is going to stand up and take notice, because we are no longer going to be dependent or be as victimized as we are now. I mean, I like cringe every time I see one of us being brutalized. As you guys saw, the 15-year-old, it's now the hashtag going around, Justice for Luca, the little 15-year-old boy who was brutalized by a police officer. He's just bending down to pick up his friend's phone who was being brutalized by the police. Police jumps on him, punches him, and smashes his forehead into the ground.
Of course. That's the training.
And then lie and arrest him, saying he was resisting arrest and all this
charge him with all
stuff.
kinds of stuff.
So I cringe because I see that, but I also cringe because it's like these people know that right now we're not doing anything about it. We're just, oh my gosh, we're becoming hashtags, but we're not really taking action.
Well, Demetria, what did we talk about before the show even started today? It's crazy how we are paying for all this, and until the next thing comes. We're letting all this stuff happen to us when we have the power. What did I say? We need to start electing people that are going to run our agenda, not their agenda and all this other. That's why AOC, even though I don't like her on the reparations thing, she's there to handle her business for her district. She's like, I'm not with all this.
Right.
But it's crazy how we pay people to brutalize us in our own neighborhoods.
Yeah, if you really think about it. And also says Trump is a celebrity who loves celebrities.
Yes.
Get a black celebrity who knows reparations to pitch the idea to Trump. Show him that he can make millions because black folks will give. I don't even see the rest of your comment, but I know what you're going to say. Give the monies right back to the corporations, and unfortunately, that's just the truth. We have not conditioned ourselves to keep the money. We are consumers. We don't produce. We consume.
We don't produce a damn thing.
But to your other point, Dr. Claude Anderson was saying that if we were smart, we would, because he said he was writing and working with the Trump administration on something as well, pitched the idea to Trump, since he, claims that he likes black people. He's got the pastors and everybody up in there. Pitched the idea to Trump. We don't need to wait until 2020. See if he'll do it. Why not? It makes sense to me.
What do we got to lose?
What do we have to lose? And Charles says, no one is speaking of abolishing the Electoral College.
Well, I've heard rumors of that they want to do it. I've read it in like USA Today and stuff like that. So there's little rumblings, but it's not going to really take fire, because that's their back door to keeping their power.
Absolutely. And Marcus, he says, if we really want to break the new ground instead of always having Sunday Bible service, let's have classes on how legislation and policy works. If we really want to break new ground instead of having, instead of having just cookout for black community empowerment, let's have the cookout and learn how our finances really can work on our behalf to change things. We have to get black people to have this conversation at the dinner table, and if the card part and at the card party or the cookout. Absolutely. Now, admittedly, a lot of people don't want to go to the cookout and talk about politics, but I agree with you. At least at the dinner table, first of all, we got to get back to the dinner table.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the dinner table. And yes, we need to start having those conversations with our kids and our family and stuff. And as absolutely teach financial literacy, because a lot of us just don't know what to do with the money. We get lump sums of money and we go
trick it off.
We'll trick it off. Or we go buy stuff to make us seem important, whether it's the Gucci bags, and this, that, and the other.
The rims and all that.
Those things make us seem like we're in, but being in is buying back the block, like Nipsey Hussle did. I don't want to say he was doing, that he did. Influencing the people, and that's real validation.
Right.
But validation to yourself.
One of the hardest classes you had to take before you exited high school back in our day was what? Government.
Government.
You had to have a government before you left, and it's so sad because that is one of the hardest classes.
Yeah, I took it in summer school.
Yeah, I couldn't even CLEP it. I mean, I passed it in high school, but I was trying to CLEP it in college.
Yeah.
That is a very, very hard subject. And if you don't understand how government works, thus we're still in the same position.
Which a lot of people don't. It's not nothing to do with black people not knowing how it works.
Just people in general.
A lot of people don't. I mean, I saw a video where they went on the streets asking people different things about the government.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Do you know who the vice president, huh?
Is Puerto Rico part of the United States? Oh, no. Even President Trump didn't even know Puerto Rico was part of the United States. Talking about their president. Dummy, that's you.
Yeah.
And let's see, Cindy says, I'm referring to the cases that the Supreme Court that is going to affect us and who appointed two of them. Can you expound on that a little bit more? And you also say Marcus
he's talking about the Kavanaugh and the last two that is going to change a lot of what's going on in the Supreme Court. And but again, what can you do about it? I mean, we said we let it happen, then we go on to the next thing.
Right. We just, as I said,
we get upset at the time.
What I said about the frog in the pot.
Yep.
Exactly. You guys hear that frog in the pot analogy? The frog is in the water, it's lukewarm, or it's cool, whatever, and eventually the heat gets turned up. The frog says, oh my gosh, it's getting hot. Oh, well, but what's new?
Yeah.
It keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh, but what's new? And then pretty soon it boils to death. And that's just what we are. We're the frog in the boiling pot of water.
Because if the water was already hot, the frog would immediately try to jump out.
Right.
If you put him in there, he tries to jump out when it's hot.
But we just get used to it.
Yeah, we get used to it.
So, and Cindy says they won't abolish the Electoral College. The poor southern states will cry.
Yes, that's their back door to power.
Right.
To keep the power. Exactly.
And Marcus says, ask anybody here how policy works or how legislation works. You will find very few that actually know. Ask anybody here how money works and investments work, and you will find, I think he said, you won't find many who have, or you will find many who have no clue. Let's see. Many who have no clue. We have to know more than saying we want to be treated better. We have to know what battery is and know and how to get it and where it resides. So I'm not sure what you mean about the whole battery thing. But we do need to educate ourselves on how government works. That's a start. So once we do that, we need to figure out what we might need to do at the same time, how money works. A lot of us have no idea how money works and what we can actually do with it. Like, I'll give you guys a perfect example. We live in California, My nephew said that he paid $4.50 for gas the other day. I'm also having the same conversation with my nephew, and he's a vegan as well. And he says, I'm not able to juice as much as I want to because even vegetables have gone up. I went to the store and celery is almost $3 a bag.
I want y'all to stay out of my damn yard. Do not get in the backyard.
I brought my grocery bags so I can go back there
and get some apples and get stuff.
But so everything is because the gas is high, everything has been passed down to us, the consumer. So not only paying more money for gas, like a month ago, gas was $2 cheaper.
Yeah, it was $2.86.
Yeah, so they're $2 cheaper.
To me, that's high, and I was complaining about that.
Yeah, but for $50. Some places it's $5.
And no refinery explosion.
Now we go to the grocery store. I like avocados, but I ain't gonna pay $3 for one.
You better start planting one. You better start planting it.
So the point
wait
that
for
I'm
next
making
year.
is, I know how money works to some degree, and so I have to just cut corners here and there. Obviously, I'm not gonna starve, but we need to know how money works. And to Donovan's point, maybe it's time to think about start planting some trees.
Better start planting and
all that kind of stuff.
Because in my backyard, I got it all: plums, peaches,
but more
apricots.
Importantly, learning how to do for self, because we have no control over the gas.
Exactly.
So, we're just vulnerable out here. So we need to learn how to save ourselves.
And speaking of money and politics, they actually go hand in hand together. Now, Dee knows that I'm a political person. Dee actually helped me run my campaign. The city that I live in right now is controlled by a developer. How does he control it? He contributes money to certain candidates that make decisions that have to go through him because he is a big donor.
Absolutely.
We have a district attorney in the county. This guy is a big donor. Now, this guy has done some criminal activity that is just like Trump. Do you think the DA is taking any action on this particular person? The DA told me he needs overwhelming evidence. So basically, he's telling me I'm not doing a doggone thing.
Right, so beat it.
Yeah, so beat it. But the point is, that is how it merges. So if you're a business owner, I'm going to give you some advice. If you're going to open a business, no matter where you're at, you go to your city councilman and say, hey, are you running for election next year? And you make a donation and see how certain things in zoning areas get done, rule in your favor. And that's how it's done.
Right. And Cindy says, I met the president of USVI and Puerto Rico. Laugh out loud. You met Trump? And then Cindy says, I have a degree in finance. Well, shoot, you should be giving us some advice.
Give us some advice, brother. Give it up. Oh, he has to charge. Brother ain't giving it for free.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
And Marcus says, we have to know what better is and how to get it and where it resides. Many of us think Freedom Financial is working 40 hours instead of 50 hours.
Hell no.
Many of us think that a nice house by a white, it says by a white fence, I think you're saying, and a couple of nice cars bought from some white people is ultimate success. We really have no clue. Something true. What I think you meant what true freedom is as a whole. No, absolutely. But we need to learn that. If we have the freedom, golly, $1.3 trillion we just misappropriated. We spend it like everybody else is rich because of our money, but us. We just need to know that. We just need to keep waking us up. And that's another thing that I love. Obviously, I hate the fact that Nipsey Hussle was murdered, but the fact that he was in a weird kind of way, people know about him, and the generation that he was trying to reach are now more aware about him and what he was trying to do, and he was trying to teach us just that, financial literacy, buying back the block, helping your people. They said through all of his programs and initiatives, over 40,000 people were hired. People who necessarily wouldn't have been hired anywhere else, felons and things like that. And so we just need to learn those things. So I absolutely agree with you. And working 40 to 50 hours is not financial freedom. It might be help you, with the bills, but it doesn't help you in every other area of life because you don't have the time to do nothing. And Joe says, I live in South Central Illinois. Gas is $2.69 a gallon. Boo!
Yeah, boo, yeah. Anywhere outside of the border of California, you're looking at least $1 more because we have additives because we're such a economically free state. So ours is automatically going to be $1 more than anywhere in the United States.
I just don't enjoy spending damn near $50 to get a half a tank.
Yeah. $50, that's good.
And I drive a mid-size car.
Right, and yours is a sipper. You got
I got the ego on it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
ego.
I ain't filled my car up in a minute.
Yeah, right.
I drive real slow.
And not all of us have to, are going to, when you're single, like we are, our kids are grown. I don't need a Costco card to use the Costco gas over there because I'm not buying in bulk anymore. So.
Right. And then Sydney says, money talks and BS walks.
Yes, hey, Sydney,
buy the block.
Yes.
And Larry says, facts. Yeah, I mean, we got to start doing those things. No longer can we think on an individual basis. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. Like, if you're going to get, as the old people say, a piece of money, think about buying some land. Maybe there's not a house on there right now, but buy some land.
Do you think the narrative of, you got black women that I'm going to do it myself?
Richard, you glow. He says EV for the win. He has an electric vehicle. I think you're driving a Tesla,
right?
Yeah,
you must be doing a Tesla thing.
He is. Boo!
But do you think this narrative that we teach our young girls, you don't need nobody, do it yourself. We got to start telling kids we need it together. You might be single as a person, but together as a community. We need to start investing because, I run into a lot of women, they might be, struggling. I don't need I can do it myself. You can't do it by yourself.
Well, my mom
used to
always say you're going to need somebody.
Someday.
I don't care who you are, you're going to need somebody. So, yeah, I don't think we should teach people, our kids, you don't need nobody. We always need somebody, and especially to your point, black people, we need each other.
Yeah.
Like, we need to save ourselves. Yeah. We are our own safety net at this point. Reparations should just be... obviously, it's going to help us tighten the wealth gap, if you will, but that should be extra in addition to what we are already doing. Right,
because I'm seeing all these homes being built here and around the United States, and I look at the Asians and the Mexicans, they come in there and they buy the whole block.
As they're supposed to.
Yes, and they rent to their folks, but they do it as a community. Us, I ain't going to do that.
By the block, the neighborhood, and the shopping malls. What do you call it? The strips.
Mm-hmm, the strip things.
The strip malls and all that. Stores. They're just doing it.
Yeah. Next door, my neighbors are moving, so they got a for sale sign. But the way the for sale sign sits is
by your house.
It sits, right on my house. So a lot of people come and they think that my house is for sale. And I was talking to my neighbor. He was like, "Oh, your house is so beautiful. You did such a good upgrade and everything." He goes, 4-bedroom. I said, "Yeah, 4-bedroom." He goes, "How much are you selling it for?" I said, "I'm not selling."
He's like, because I want it.
Yes.
Right, to get rid of the last black man standing
on the block. Exactly.
And Cindy says, wait to Houston. What to Houston? Mm-hmm. What did I miss? And you said, you need a Costco card for gas. News to me. Well, Costco
has a gas thing, yeah.
What is it, like 50 cents cheaper now?
Yeah. If you
I
go to
Costco by me, so by the time I drive the Costco,
you already spent that money.
Yeah,
50 cents.
And then Richard's laughing, because he's got this, electrical vehicle and stuff.
Yeah.
Boo.
See, but that electrical vehicle in California, you're gonna go here and there a little bit.
Don't you have a scooter too? Mm-hmm. See, that's what I said. I'm gonna get me a moped.
Right. See, and the thing is, electric vehicles are great here in California, but it's only good for commuting because here in California, to get distances, we have distance. So that electric thing is only going so far, and you got to park it and charge it.
Right. And then you take the gas guzzler if you need to go somewhere.
Right. So you need the hybrid.
Right. Marcus says, personal opinion. I don't think we have any clue as to how much hate there is out there for us. Oh, I think we do.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have any clue what goes on in the black back rooms between between Democrats and Republicans. I don't think that we have any clue as to how quickly the laws will adjust themselves to hold us. We do not have any clue as to how owned we are.
Oh my God, yeah, a lot of us do. But that's what I've been saying for a long time, Marcus. The donor, if you look at their donors, these are the same people. They don't want us to leave because we're the economic base of this country. That's why you don't see black, and shout out to my brother. He went to Italy and did what he had to do. But how many of us black people, we go to Europe on vacation, we go to the Caribbean on vacation, but we don't go back to Africa.
Go home.
Well, how come we don't go there? Because we're conditioned to say, oh, there ain't nothing in Africa. Well, I got nothing in Africa, but we're going everywhere else.
Right. No, absolutely. But I think a lot, to your point, a lot of us do know, but a lot of us don't know. And I think owned is really a strong word, but I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, we are owned as long as we don't have control over us. And we just don't. Right now, we don't have control over us.
And both parties are the same. I've been saying that for years. And like Demetrius says, why don't we start another party? The problem is those two parties gang up on any party that comes up. Right now, a good example, Bernie Sanders. If the Democrats don't hit him, the Republicans hit him because they don't want that universal blah, 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 whatever going on.
We need to call our party Hold Your Vote Party.
The rent's too damn high party.
The gas is too damn high party, okay, out here. I think do you think I'll get elected? The gas is too damn, no?
No, here, yeah. And locally,
the gas is too damn high.
Locally, absolutely.
Right. We're going to call ourselves the scooter, the something. Okay, and let's see, and Sydney says, you know how they do it. And Arthur says, okay, guys, I really don't mean to shift the attention too much here, but something hit me last night that made me think of you and Donovan.
All right.
I just had to share it. You know, I always knew. Let's see. Oh, you was going.
Go in, brother. Go in.
I always knew white people plan things so many years ahead. I am sorry. Here's what I'm referring to. Remember gentrification last week?
Yes.
By the way, thank you, Donovan, for that point. Pointing out Starbucks is one of the first signs of
gentrification.
Of it. Well, last night I was watching Boys in the Hood, and remember that scene where the father is telling them about the neighborhood. He uses specific words, and all the signs have been there all along. I thought this word was new. Really? Do you need a leader to look to? We really need to step our game up. And yes, to reply to some guy, we have to bribe our vote. Yep. We need a whole bunch of Donovans. I believe a change will begin with our money spending habits.
Thank you, yes.
Absolutely, yeah. That came out with the 90s, early 90s.
89, 90.
And you're right, Lawrence Fishburne, he played the character Furious. He did use the word gentrification as he was showing...
he said, what are y'all, step and fetch it?
Yeah, he was showing the boys what was going on in the neighborhood. What, 1990? Actually, and you know... Wasn't that the brainchild of John Singleton, who unfortunately yesterday just had a stroke? So
did he? Oh my gosh!
Speedy recovered him. I guess he was on a plane or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and had a stroke. So,
yikes.
But no, absolutely right. And then Richard says, charge while you shop. Yes, I see you're kind, Richard.
He said, charge while you shop.
Yeah, I see you're kind. Or they're plugging your car in and you're going to Trader Joe's.
See, but Richard doesn't understand. When you're in traffic in California, you're in a parking lot, so you're going to be sitting there for a while.
Yeah, I think Richard. I think he has a scooter or something.
Yeah, but he's putting it in. Look, hey, brother, you're blessed. I'm telling you, you don't live here. Thank God.
Well, he does live here.
Oh, okay. So he's doing his thing. Okay,
I know Richard.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Chicago or something like that.
No, and Sydney says, I do not need a Costco card.
There you go. Hey, well, you balling, brother.
And then Richard says, buy stock in blue chip companies that pay dividends.
Yes.
Blue chips is old school.
Yes, but it's still good. Hey, and a shout out to my brother who just got online. He probably got done cutting the yard and going to church. Bro. But being a heathen, I'm surprised he even went to church. So good for him. There's always hope.
Some sibling rivalry there?
No.
Calling your brother a heathen?
Well, he is. I mean,
on this good Easter Sunday?
Well, he's a Marine. So, Marines are the devil's, Uncle Sam's misguided children. But, hey, you guys get a chance, grab a pen. I got the number for you guys to call next week so you guys will know.
Oh, my God.
And so at least you'll have the number. You can call.
Well, you know what? If you, I was about to say, but go ahead and pin it on here. The number. Let me see if I don't have the capability. Okay, and so let's see. Richard says, invest.
Well,
I'm late to the game, so I'm learning too. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you just brought that up, Richard, because I've been writing down some tips that is on the Stash app that we used to, and we're going to give it to you.
That, yep. Mm-hmm. And so Marcus says, not to force EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, and Julius Malima's John was stupid. Julius Malema down anyone's throat. So you don't want to force him and EFF down anyone's throat. But they simply write down and a manifesto exactly what they were trying to achieve. Their four people did not have to know much about specific details, but they had a basic platform that everyone could follow and build on. We need a brightest to do the same so that everyone can get behind it from the most basic to the most enlightened. Well,
cut the check.
I agree with you. Okay, because I've read the EFF's manifesto.
Didn't you help write it?
Yeah, I did. No, I'm just playing. I read it, and it is very simple. However, the only thing I would say to that, Marcus, is we have had blueprints.
Yes, and we just been brainwashed.
Marcus Garvey. I mean, even to modern day, you have Louis Farrakhan. You have...
no, you had Elijah Muhammad that put it out there.
Right, you're right. Right. So you had Elijah Muhammad, The Message to the Black Man, which I think everybody should read. And then Farrakhan is just covering... they actually have one called Muhammad's Blueprint. So yeah, so you're right. Elijah Muhammad.
Put it down.
Dr. Claude Anderson, has a blueprint. So we have the blueprint. We just
Steve Harvey. The cooning thing. Didn't he say that? Didn't he tell Monique? This is how you speak. We black out here. We black out here. You can't do what that white man do. You got to coon and be a monkey and all of that. That's what he said. It's a blueprint. It worked for him.
I don't think we talking about him.
Okay, gotcha.
So Dr. Claude Anderson is through Powernomics that he's had, the blueprint. So the blueprint is there. We just need I don't subscribe, if you will, to religion, but I do know the Bible a little bit. And it does say my people were destroyed for their lack of knowledge and... with an emphasis on and, their rejection of truth. So it's not that the knowledge is not there. It's just that we reject the knowledge. We got to want to inculcate the knowledge in order for it to work. So you could come up with a blueprint. I could come up with one. Now, we can all come up with a blueprint, but it's just a blueprint if nobody follows and uses it. So, yes, the EFF has a blueprint. It's I like it. It's simple. We all have had blueprints to go from. We just need to start going from them, using them, right? And then Cindy says, D, your trip to New York City, cancel it. Why? Why should I cancel it? And then he says, not a lot, Donovan, though. So I don't know what that meant. And then Samuel, what happened? Says, greetings.
Hey, Samuel.
He said, could I have a brief summary? Yes, brief summary. I was just talking about the Mueller report and saying that the Democrats thought it was going to be the nail in the coffin for Trump. It wasn't the nail in the coffin. It actually is more of fuel for the Republicans that gives Democrats something more to work against, because now you have the ADOS who has formed, in addition to the Mueller report not being what they needed to form talking points. And so this gives us as ADOS, if you will, those who call themselves ADOS, who are seeking reparations, more leverage, if you will. The Democrats are now going to have to say, gosh.
They got to come up with another plan to rally us.
They need black people. The end,
just getting Trump out of office isn't enough.
Right. And then Marcus says, yes, but we have never had a detailed statement or document explaining exactly what we want in this country. The great thing about having such a thing is that it leaves out the room for debate, which, let's see. Leaves out the room for debate. I lost your comment. Oh, I see why, because it's really long. Okay, leaves out the room for debate, which is what kills us most times. If it is documented, then we meet only standing with his document and allow the opposition to hash out the rest. I may not be detailing exactly the way I needed to, but I think you get what I mean. And really, I think something like that would work, because it's easy for everybody to stand behind it instead of all over the damn place like we are now. Well, as I said, Dr. Claude Anderson has a blueprint through Powernomics. He talks about what is the 5 things we need, which is building businesses, education, politics, police, and media. We need to be in control of the media. So he has a blueprint. And that's really easy. If I was like 5 steps of things we need to do in order to gain control of our narrative, in order to have some power. That's why he calls it Powernomics. And so, research Dr. Claude Anderson. There's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube about him. Yeah, but
the problem is they have these Uncle Remuses and Jethros in Congress that will shoot that idea down or bury it.
But but see, we're giving too much power to the Jethros in Congress. There's more of us than them.
Well, that's because Grandma and all them who fall under that ideology says, "Oh yeah, just follow him. Just follow him. It's
they were happy with the water fountain in the bathroom.
Exactly. And until those people go and we start having these new ideas, that's why there's such a gap in the way the millennials think and the way we think. We are the last generation that actually thought like our parents. We listen to some of our parents' music. You know, I mean, I don't listen to nothing that my son listens to. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I do.
Well, we know, but that's one of the problems that we're having, that these people bear. At 78 years old, do you think James Clyburn gives a damn about equality and all that other stuff? He's securing the bag for his family and his future.
Right. And Samuel says blueprint for Black Power. Okay. And then Cindy says, my point made. No more Donovan. Take the mic and hook him with the cane.
Yes.
And you talk about some damn Steve Harvey. Okay. And let's see. Samuel says by Amos Wilson. Okay, so
Amos Wilson. Let me write that down.
Yes. So it's actually Blueprint for Black Power. You know what? It's funny because I heard about that book from somewhere and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it on. I think I looked on Amazon or something. I couldn't find it, but I'm going to look again.
Absolutely.
And then Cindy says gentrification. The only borough not fully gentrified is the Bronx. Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah.
And you guys see too, Howard.
Oh yeah, about
Howard.
that guy that wanted to walk the dog, and he figured.
They said that's becoming a thing, that white folks are walking their dogs through their campus. And you know, not only are the dogs just walking there,
they're shitting.
They're also using the bathroom if a dog can use the bathroom, trying to be nice. They're doing this other stuff like this is a historical black
and
college.
they're demanding that the college move.
They said, it should move. Like you're an implant here. You gentrified the area now because you're here. The whole black college should just move so you can walk fight.
But isn't that the blueprint? Isn't that what they do? They're making $1 billion stadium in Los Angeles, and all those homes that have been there. Oh yeah, y'all got to move. The rent's got to go. Y'all got to move out of there.
Damn your education, Negro.
You know.
You need to move so my dog can go walk.
Right. Fluffy needs to take a dump.
All right. And then let's see. Marcus says it's too far-fetched to say that because it would take us 250 years to catch up physically and financially to the average white person. It's too far-fetched to say that we need a separate branch. Let's see. A separate branch of government for at least 100 years to push and enforce. I need some concerns if we are really, really going to get on a level playing field.
Well, let me answer that real quick. I just got an idea. Why do we even need a branch of government? Because that's not going to work. Anything that we attach ourselves to the United States government is going to be linked in racism. Why not do what the Indians do and do a standing treaty to where they just give us some land, do what we got to do. We have a standing treaty, and we make our own rules and our own law because we are a nation within a nation.
Or why not do what everybody else is doing? Hispanics are already doing it. They might not have their own government, but they got their government within their government. They don't. They have their own financial system working with each other. They got
Asians,
the businesses. They got the schools. Asians. Everybody else is already doing it now. They don't need a government per se, but the government listens to them because they know where there's money and unity, there is power. And so that's why you see a lot of politicians rallying behind DACA. You see more of our black politicians talking about DACA than you do about reparations.
Or think about these politicians that it seems like every politician supports veterans.
Right, because that's where the attention goes. And so, to your point, Marcus, black people now realize that we need a black agenda, if you will. And so now we're asking them to go to Washington with the black agenda and actually deliver it, not just research and study.
Talk.
So now, all we got to do is, I just say, hold the line. Don't give up. Don't, get fooled, if you will.
Yeah, the thing is, I think Malcolm X said this in the 60s. He said, white people can help us, but you can't join us. If you want to, form a group of the friends of the black folks, whatever, because when a white person joins a black organization, they water it down.
Or he says you should question why would anybody white want to be at the helm of a black organization like your SNCCs and the NAACP.
And that's exactly what happened to those organizations.
Right, because he says, that just should be something that should be concerning to us. Why can't we be at the helm of our own organization? Is there something more that you're looking to influence it for your own benefit? So more than likely, yeah.
And thus the NAACP and all these organizations from the 60s haven't done shit since.
Right. Well, a mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
And Marcus says, well, to Donovan's point, they took from the Indians when they needed to. How quickly will they take from the Indians if ever in need again? These policies only work when the white people that... let's see. when the white people that put them in place are still okay with what they put on paper.
Right, but here's the thing. Now, I know what you're talking about, Marcus. Like, years ago, we have a thing where let's face it, there are more colored people in the world than there are anything else. Mm-hmm. We have a thing called the World Court. When you got a standing document, if the Indians wanted to go to the World Court, that's why Trump and those people and Obama and them, as a soldier, they won't let us be charged for war crimes. Mm-hmm. Even these private contractors and stuff, they won't let us be charged for war crimes. But see, when the world gets involved and you got these documents, you don't think they're going to say, as great as the United States is, we can't take on the whole world.
Well, and not only that, Marcus, but what happened with the North Dakota pipeline?
Right.
That was on sovereign land.
Yeah.
And the Indians, did they build that pipeline?
Yeah, they're building it now.
But look at
look at the spills that have happened.
Yeah, but not only spills, but look at the opposition that came. And it wasn't just Indians; they had all kind of people out there holding the line, if you will.
Yeah, and then the white people know that it's a new day because you got these people of color that are now using the courts and the court systems to address inequities and issues that are not. The only reason the Indians are not going to the World Court for the genocide that happened to them is because we capitulated and we gave them casinos and all that other good stuff like that.
Indians are set.
Yeah.
They're set.
Right.
Anytime, especially out here, how many Indian gaming and bingo casinos are a lot?
And you got to remember this: the Indians' healthcare, they don't worry about healthcare because it's provided by the United States government. Right. A lot of people don't know that.
Right. No, absolutely. And so, thank you, Sammy, for providing the link for the book. I do want to get that book. And Cindy says, Samuel, I cannot click on the link. Okay. I'm going to try to find it again. And then let's see. Sammy says, copy and paste. Okay.
Copy and paste. Gotcha.
Copy and paste, and then put it into the search engine. Got it. Then Marcus says, I believe for us, the true measure of success in the opportunity is, can a black person build an Amazon or a Microsoft or a Facebook without restraints or immediate legislation to capitalize and control? Yes, we can.
Go to Africa.
Right.
Go to Africa. They are doing it over there.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you think about it, it's black people who are at the helm of inventing a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it can be done. The problem is, we lack unity and support for these people.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of black online shopping entities already. Mm-hmm. But how many of us know that? How many of us actually go there and shop with these people?
China is investing heavily all throughout Africa. So a lot of these small African businesses are signing on with these Chinese businesses. These guys are becoming billionaires and all kinds of stuff.
Have you guys heard what happened in China with Amazon last week?
What happened?
China ran, I don't say they purposely ran Amazon out of there, but Amazon is packing up and leaving. Now, Chinese people can shop online on Amazon, but Alibaba, which is owned by Jack Ma, who is a very influential Chinese billionaire who owns an Alibaba like an Amazon. Amazon couldn't compete in China, due to Alibaba. So, point that I'm making is obviously, his people, the Chinese people, are giving him the business he needs to say Amazon is just a second. Like, when we think about ordering something right away, Amazon. Mm-hmm. But the Chinese people are like, no, Alibaba. Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's 1 billion plus people.
Exactly. And so Joe says, join the Constitution Party and have everyone leave the Democrat Party. Mm-hmm. The black community needs to make both parties take notice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I 100%
Wait, doesn't that sound like Candace Owens?
Candace Owens?
Yeah, what's that? She wanted the Dexit?
The Blexit. Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree. I think it's time that black people leave.
Yeah, no, I think we should be independent.
Yeah, I think so. Democrats, they've had our vote a long time now.
Yeah, and the reason I say independence because you can't tell me there's stuff in the Republican Party you don't like, and I like stuff in both parties.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and so Marcus says there's no way we can get away with the criminal activity that goes on in the medical field if we were a major black-owned pharmaceutical company.
Right.
We allow medicine to kill us for billions so they can only pay out millions. Okay, let me say this to you, because I agree with that, but this is the other part. Remember I said our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge and the rejection of truth. You know good hell goddamn well if you eat ribs and greens and pig feet and grease and oil and sugar and salt, you're gonna die. You know, if you don't drink water, you don't exercise and do the things that are conducive for life, you're gonna die. And so nobody should be dependent upon the pharmaceutical industry. But that's just us not getting the information and using it. No matter who you are, especially black people, We're the most unhealthiest people on the planet. So if we continue to eat like that, we know that the pharmaceutical company is never, ever going to give us the cure. In fact, they're probably killing us, okay? And so if we keep the population control, eugenics, if we are dependent upon those things due to the stuff that we are doing, then whose fault is it really?
Yes, I went to the doctor last week, and she gave me this thing on sodium, and she's an Asian lady, Indian, Asian. And do you know that sodium is very high in youth because we're giving them all that damn ramen.
Cheetos!
Yeah, Cheetos, ramen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the thing. And if you have sodium at a younger age, the chance of you having a heart attack in your think about all these young people that are dying. You know, if you're in your 40s, you're having a heart attack.
Which a lot of people are. I mean, 40 is a baby, and you're dying of a heart attack, diabetes, strokes, all kind of stuff. And so, we just got to, at some point in time, we got to put the responsibility back on us. Mm-hmm. If I look at my playlist, and I'm not saying I'm the healthiest person, although I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and he said, "You good to go, sister. You just need to probably lose 15 pounds." But that's neither here nor there.
No, Al says absolutely not.
If I'm looking at my plate, and I have nothing that is going to render life on it, then I may need to think about some things. I may need to think about the way I'm eating, because doctors are there to secure their bag. They don't secure their bag by giving you the cure. Like, a lot of times doctors will tell you need to eat better, you need to exercise, you need to drink water, but they know we ain't going to do it.
Exactly.
So they give us a medicine to keep us on the precipice of, you feel better, but you need to come back here in a month. You know,
right.
And Terry Hay was having says Demetri K, Donovan Zeke are on fire, and Martin says Donovan and the meter. I'm probably saying it wrong. I have been saying. Oh, I think he says, and Demetra. I think that's what you're trying to say. I have been saying to go to Africa. So if we're going to do that, then we need to go to Africa. God damn, let's go. Well, we leaving in September.
We leaving in September. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We're going to go out there and we're going to report exactly what's going on.
We are leaving in September, y'all.
And stopping in the Seychelles for a day.
Leaving.
Yes, I'm leaving this town.
Leaving on an airplane.
I'm going uptown.
Right. Right. So, and then Sydney says no, and then Terry puts up black power fist. Well, his is on the yellow
but
side.
No, but as far as going to Africa, not only are we going, we're taking your daughter. And the reason why I thought it was so important, number one, she did what she had to do as a young lady. She finished her college. Congratulations to her. This is a good reward for her, because most likely when she does have her family, she's going to take her family.
Right.
And
maybe she'll move there.
A lot of people are moving there. They're saying, the hell with this.
Right. I mean, maybe I move there once I go over there and be like, wait.
I mean, and you can afford some land over there from what I'm hearing. So, but the point is.
Get a job with the EFF?
Yeah. Well, we already know you're the finance. She's the torture minister. No. But no, why is it that we don't go to Africa? We go to all these other places.
We believe the hype. Ooh, they living in grass huts around there.
Yeah, Tarzan.
Right, spear chucking, and you know what's bad, and watch it. Don't take expensive stuff over there with you.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. You can go anywhere you like to go, but if you're as old as I am, I'm 40-something years old, and I've been to Europe, I've been to Japan, I've been all these places. As a black man, I cannot say I've been one time to Africa. That's a shame.
I was going to say something else, but I ain't going to sound nice.
Thank you.
And then Sydney says, Candace wanted us to go to the GOP.
Right. She's on that thing.
She cashing GOP.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody listening.
Yeah, and they busted her out, so she got busted out.
Listen, I'm going to say this about Candace, okay? This is one thing I will say about Candace Owens. I am not ever going to knock the hustle. Nope. White people pay Candace great money to say the things that white people want to say.
Want to say.
She got her hustle down tight.
And got her a white man.
I mean, I don't know where that is in the scheme of things, but
got her white.
She's cashing checks on telling people. That's what sales is. Find out what people want and help them how to get it while making a check.
Now, can Candace ever show her head in the black community? No, but that's the decision she made.
She'll be back.
We're
like Omarosa, my people. Oh, okay. And so podcast, we are getting ready to get out of here. I didn't realize how much time we got on there.
Got about a minute.
All right. So next week we'll talk to you guys on the podcast. Thank you so much.
And before we go,
the call-in number for those in the podcast is 951-489-7157. I'll give that again. Are we doing this next week?
Yes.
We're going to be taking phone calls next week. Y'all heard it here first. Again, that number is 951 489-7157-951, 489-7157. We will see you or hear you guys next week on the podcast.
And before we go real quick on the podcast, JetBlue stock, if you're interested, it's going at $16.50. Become an owner. Southwest, $52.19. Alaska Airlines, $61.68. Delta, $58.16. Check it out on the Stash app. And I strongly recommend it.
Pay us some advertisement.
They got to do something. I'm working on it.
Okay.
See you guys next week.
And then Marcus says, my point with the medical statement is that we will never have the chains taken off completely to advance what we need to in America. No, I get your point about that. It's either time to separate or to leave. I agree with you on that. I mean, we're going to be waiting a mighty long time to have total